right, for our last comedian of the night, we got a guy that came up from LA. Give it up for LA Comics. Coming to the stage, Mike Weiss.
Yeah.
All right, I got to ask the question. Am I the only one here from LA, or we got anybody here from LA?
Woo!
You can always tell the people from LA, because as soon as they take their shirts off at the beach, they still have those. I know I still have it. I still got the red marks from my bulletproof vest out there. I grew up in LA. These aren't freckles. These are BB wounds from my paper route. Life was weird to me. I was a short kid, and I didn't get this size until I was like in my 40s. So it didn't do any good. I had a few twins taken away from me. So I'm on the East Coast now. I like the East Coast. The East Coast is kind of cool. You know, a little different though. I take the subway now. In fact, I'm kind of like a subway fan now. I put 2 tanks of gas in my car since I've been here. But I noticed there's a little bit of a difference though. Out in LA, I take the Metro Link, which is their equivalent of the subway, and I go to work and I get on and I walk on. And, I mean, every morning, hey Mike, how's the divorce going? I mean, total strangers. And I'd be like, the bitch has ripped me for another $1,000. I got to go back to it. They knew everything about me. I mean, it was a party from the place I got on all the way to where I got to work. Out here, it's asshole to belly button. I mean, people are literally, and nobody's saying a word. I mean, nobody says a word. I've never seen trains packed that solid. I mean, people are sitting there, they're reading each other's papers, and you know, but they won't say a word. So I couldn't take it after a couple days, and you know, I start being myself, and I'm like sampling people's deodorant, and my face is under their arm, and I'm asking people if I got any nose hairs, and mothers are grabbing their kids and getting away. It's a different world. Jesus, this is a small. Excuse me, I had to change my mind. All right, so some of you might have noticed, anybody that's halfway savvy at all would have noticed I'm dating an Asian because she's like the hottest chick in here.
Yeah.
All right, here's the deal about dating Asians, all right? Now, it is Memorial Day, and by the way, I appreciate the last guy talking about that because it is a solemn day, and I have a lot of respect. I'm a former military guy myself. However, I was one of these Cold War guys. I just missed every campaign. It was really weird. I was like too young for Vietnam, and then I kind of go on like this 82nd Airborne paratrooper, but it's the Cold War. You know, so I kind of bullshit a little bit, and I'd say that I fought in the European theater. Of course, I'm talking about the Man's Chinese Theater on post in Germany. I got my ass kicked by a couple of rednecks there. I was making a joke about Georgia and something about teeth. Anyways, the cool thing about dating Asian chicks, man, I mean, there's a couple of them, but I think there's some young people there, so I'll be decent. You get to do things that you might have missed out on. For example, I think I was 5 years old during the Vietnam War, but I've always wondered what it was like. So now it's kind of cool because I have Lynn, my girlfriend, sometimes, and she's cool about it. I'll have her go up into the bushes behind our house, and she yells out, you know, like things like, "GI, tonight you die." I know it sounds weird, but you know, it's just my way to kind of like, for example, I've almost developed a 1,000-yard stare ever since I've been dating her because I have that experience. The other day we were playing Bataan Death March, and she was like, she was marching me around the backyard, and she was poking me with a bayonet, and the neighbors called the police. And she almost got taken down by the cops, but I was explaining as they tied me. Yeah. Maybe I should read this guy's card. White people suck. Speaking of that, since all the brothers made jokes about white people, I have absolutely no fear about this next joke that I just came up with on the way to the stage, this long walk. Now, this is a true story. I had surgery when I was, I don't know, a few years ago. I broke my neck, and they took some disc out, and they put some cadaver, that's dead people, for you people at LA Unified School District Education, cadaver bone into the neck. And what's weird about it is it's like a donor bone. Somebody died, and they take the bone out of the body, and they put it in me, and they won't tell you where it came from, but I have a pretty good idea, because when I woke up in the recovery room, I started stealing gauze and Q-tips off And when I finally was able to get up and walk around, I went to take a piss, and I was like, oh. Speaking of that, Asian guys really get their panties in a bunch when they see a white guy walking around with some hot Chinese chick. It pisses them off. I can see it in their face. There's a lot of Asian guys around here. We're down at the mall watching all the motorcycles and shit. And these Asian guys are walking by, and you can just read their minds, you know. What's up? where the fuck China go? How many people like this? Why this happen? And I'm always like, hey, it's really no big thing, man. What's cool about dating Asian, this is probably the coolest thing of all, because a white guy will hear something that, I heard something that no white guy should hear. I've never thought I would hear this again in my entire life, but as soon as I dropped my pants, and I wasn't on stage doing it, her first words were, oh, it's too big. And I was like, what? I'm sorry, honey, what were you? And now I walk around confident. You know, I used to be like one of these guys like always getting undressed under the covers and shit, you know, when I'm with the girl. Now I walk around stark naked on a cold day, and she's like, honey, don't you want to get dressed? I'm like, nah, I love the cold. Yeah, don't be afraid, baby, it doesn't bite. Hang on a second. I'm going to do this because they did it. No, I can't do that. There's a kid here. Hey, this is not even, this is how weird this is, because the one I'm getting ready to tell isn't even on here. How many guys at work walk around on the computer and like surf the internet and they're not supposed to? And, you know, it's like, we all do it, I'm sure. I do it. But I think whoever invented the internet is a goddamn asshole, and here's why. Because I'll be surfing the net, and I have this like cubicle. I mean, how embarrassing is that? A guy, you know, 43 years old, I'm working in a cubicle. And it never fails when the boss or somebody of high rank walks up, and I minimize. I got the thing all set up. I got my little thing up there to click, and I even have a document open behind it so it looks like I'm working. But when I minimize the internet, there's a goddamn advertisement flash. That wasn't there. I don't understand it. I mean, why is that happening? I mean, it's usually something like, you know, Viagra or penis enlargement. And I keep thinking, geez, who told these guys this? I get email all the time about penis enlargement. I'm really starting to take it personal. I mean, it's insane. But, oh, the other thing, too, is the histories, too. I mean, you guys know how to erase the histories of your, that's a whole other subject. You can't get rid of those things. Whoever invented the internet it's designed to get married guys in trouble, because you can't get rid of it. The other thing is, oh, have you ever done this, or is it just me? Sometimes when I'm really bored, I think I'm probably the only guy on the entire planet that's doing whatever it is I'm doing at the time. Like sometimes I'll be like, you know, I'll stand on one foot, you know, and at the same time I'll like a 3, 2, 1. Now, there's probably the odds of somebody doing that right now in the world. It's just a neat thing to think about. I mean, like the other day, I was sitting in front of the internet, and I was sitting there and I thought, I wonder if I'm the only guy in the whole world sitting here with jumper cables clamped to my nipples and a candle at my house. Porno thing. All right, I'll leave you with this. Let there be a joke on here. Let's see, did the Asian girlfriend thing, the subway thing, women in the D.C. area. Oh, somebody mentioned traffic out here. I was driving on, by the way, the first guy, the MC, I think it was him talking about the streets. Was that the first comedian? Man, I can't stand driving around here in D.C. It's a nightmare. But I did drive just the other day, and I'm rolling along. Does it ever happen to you when you're driving and you're completely exhausted? And now I know why the reflectors are raised, because I was driving home, and I was doing the nod thing. All of a sudden, I look, I must have 2 or 3 miles between me and the next car. Well, I thought I'd take a little nap, and I just because I knew, I was thinking I'll just wake up between here and that next sign. And I just kind of, because I was exhausted, I had the windows down, the air conditioner on, and I just kind of nodded off just for a second. And then I heard the little, and I opened my eyes up, and it's like wall-to-wall brake lights, and I'm still doing 60. I got 4 feet to make a decision. So that's not a good feeling. And as it turned out, I was upside down in the ice plant with the sprinklers on, waiting for rescue. Anyways, that's my time, folks.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Mike Weiss, everybody.